many times you have images that have what is called converging lines. So if you want to do perspective correction, that means you have a building like this that, because you're shooting from a low angle, all the lines seem to converge to the top. So when we want to edit that, what we're going to do is we're going to take this image, we're going to make a copy of it just in case, so we can go back to the original one. And right now it's a linked object, so we don't want to do that. We want to rasterize this layer. See, we got to click on the name and say rasterize layer. So now it's an image that we can actually edit. Now what we need to do is we need to stretch this, but because we're going to be stretching out of the area that we're working with, we're going to increase the canvas size first. So we go image, canvas size, and because we need to stretch up and out, we're going to start from the center out here. We're going to make it a little wider, so I'm going to make it 18 inches wide, and I'm going to make it 12 inches high in this case. Just depends on what your image is. You want to give it a little bit of breathing space. So here is our image. Now with my selection tool, I can go in here and I can stretch and move stuff around already, but I can't distort it. So I actually have to go into image, transform, to actually edit, transform. There we are. And one thing you can do is you can work on perspective. So what perspective lets you do, as you pull on this, pulls on both sides. So I can already get it a little bit straighter. It looks quite a bit better already, just by pulling it out this way to make up for the low angle of view. And I can pull a little bit sideways to try and straighten it out. Now one thing that could help you in doing this is if you go into View and say Show, and Show Grid. That gives you a square grid, so they can see if all the lines actually line up with your image. So I'm going to pull this a little bit more this way to get these lines straight. And I'm noticing that that's pretty good, but over here it's still a little bit off. So I need to actually distort my image slightly. So I'm going to hit Enter to apply that. Then I'm going to go back into Edit, Transform. And this time I'm going to do Distort, because that will actually lets me pull on it freely in all directions. So I'm going to pull a little bit more out in this one direction and then move that over. Okay, so now you've noticed as we're pulling sideways though, this also got squashed quite a bit as a building. So I'm going to take this handle and I'm going to pull up and make this look like a tall building again. And that way again I can see if my lines are straight, and it looks like I'm okay. It's good to look at things at the edge like my lampposts. They both look straight, so that's good. So I'm going to turn off my grid again, so I can see what my object actually looks like. So there we go. So if I switch between these two, and I have to hit Enter to apply the change, I can see that's what was my original image. There is my finished image. And now the shape obviously is a little awkward. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our cropping tool and we'll go from the edges so that we don't end up with any white space and include the entire image. And that's a little too large on the right, so I'm going to bring that down just a tiny bit, hit Enter, and now I have my image. And here you can see from the original to the transformed.